Yo, what's going on, Kings fans? It's Tyler here with the Sactone Breakdown, and we got more of an old school video today. This is what started the Sactone Breakdown, was me on my Tap 2K channel, just pulling out a camera and talking about King stuff. And that's what we're going to do here today. No fancy bells and whistles. The green screen ain't being used right now. We're just straight. Got the camera. We got the info I'm about to be showing. And let's get into it. So, if you guys are new here to the Sactone Breakdown, we're going to be covering every game this year. All 82 games, me and my co-host, my partner, Curtis, aka Skip and Tosh, aka Skip. And we're going to be covering every game this year, and we have a podcast. We have, 10 podcasts, so go listen to those if you haven't. But we got some news to talk about today. This Buddy Hield thing, I wanted to maybe save it for a podcast, but it's getting out of control. Not out of control in terms of, anything super, super bad's happened, but I don't know. I didn't think it would come to this, but it seems like the Kings and Buddy Hield are kind of having a bit of an issue with their contract discussions here. So let's just break it down. Let's talk about it. Before we even get into it, let me read you some facts about contracts and stuff here, just so we all know what's going on. So I'm not talking above your guys' head or anything. So I'm gonna read you guys this part here from this article James Ham released on NBCSports.com. So here's the deal. Buddy and Bogdan both have extensions due by October 21st. Now, obviously, they're both under contract for 2 more seasons. They're both under contract this season, and then they both have qualifying offers, in which if the Kings extend the qualifying offer to Buddy Hield, he can hit the market the next year after next season, which, remind you, I'm talking about 19-20 as being this season. So after the 2021 season, that summer, Buddy Hield can hit the open market. If he accepts the qualifying offer, he'll be a restricted free agent. We can match anything another team offers him. But other teams can only give him a 5% raise over the course of the contract, whereas the Kings can give him an 8% raise. And that goes the same for Bogdanovich. The only difference is, I believe the extension we can offer Buddy Hield now is bigger than Bogdan's. So that would be if the Kings extend Buddy Hield's qualifying offer. Now, if Buddy Hield accepts the qualifying offer, which sounds like the same thing, but it's different, that means he will, that same summer I was just talking about, where he becomes a restricted free agent when we extend him, that same summer, he'll then become an unrestricted free agent, in which he can go to any other team and he leaves the Kings. Now, that would be dangerous for him to do, though, because of the mere fact that you're going to be relying on this season and the next season not getting injured and then becoming a unrestricted free agent, where if you get injured and you become an unrestricted free agent, you could be screwed. So here's the deal. Let me continue to read here. The Bahamian-born shooter will also give up massive money during the 2021 season that he might not ever be able to recoup over the course of his career. He would enter free agency in the summer of 2021 as a soon-to-be 29-year-old. While we don't know the exact number being offered by the Kings or what Hield and his agent are asking for, it appears there is a huge gap between the two sides. Adding stress for the Kings is that Hield is the first of 4 players to go through this process. Bogdanovich is also eligible for an extension between now and October 21st, but due to his standing as a 3rd player without a 4th-year option, his maximum contract offers top out at 4 years, $51.7 million, which, by the way, he's not going to want that. He's going to want a lot more than that because he is worth more. The Kings have the ability to extend a $10.7 million qualifying offer to Bogdanovich and make him a restricted free agent next summer as well. Then they can negotiate a long-term deal that can exceed the $51.7 million available now. Next October, De'Aaron Fox becomes eligible for an extension, which is looking more like a 5-year max money designated player extension. The Kings have 2 5-year designated player extensions they can offer, but the second is likely earmarked for Marvin Bagley, who is eligible for the extension in October 2021. So essentially what that means is we drafted De'Aaron, we drafted Marvin Bagley. Those are our max contract guys. Those are the guys that we can give the rookie 5-year extension to. The big, that's like the max extension, but it's not like a max contract because you don't get that big max contract till after the rookie extension. So De'Aaron and Marvin Bagley are our guys for sure. The two, if we're looking at those are our A, then our B would be Buddy Hield and Bogdanovich. But you can make the argument Buddy Hield is an A in terms of, he might be the most important player on the team in terms of his 3-point shooting and his defense. But the max contract spots are for De'Aaron and Bagley. That's just what it is. Buddy Hield deserves a max contract as well. That's the problem. But he wants to be in Sacramento, and he knows that this is the best place for him to be. This is the best place for him to win in the future. And Buddy Hield knows that this is his team. This is his place. This is his spot. It's all perfect. So I think Buddy Hield is willing to, kind of not give a hometown discount, but he's willing to work with the Kings. Now, it seems like from everything I'm reading, the Kings are trying to lowball him, which is kind of annoying. Now, let's read the very bottom here. It isn't Hield's job to worry about the future cap ramifications for the team. He doesn't have to give Sacramento a hometown discount, which is basically what I said. He has been clear that he likes playing for the Kings, but the NBA is a multi-billion-dollar business, and Hield has to do what is best for him and his family. So that's where we're at right now. It's kind of like a little, I guess it says right there, showdown between the Kings and Buddy Hield. Now, you may have to take this whole China thing into effect too, which we'll talk about that in a second. But what you also have to think about, and this is kind of a long way off, and you wouldn't really worry about this right now if you're Vlade because you have no clue what you got in this guy. But if Harry Giles turns out to be a beast within the next 2 years, we got another guy we got to give a big extension to. So that's going to be a problem, but like I said, we're not worried about that because, Harry Giles can't even play preseason games. His knee's hurting right now. So I wouldn't even put too much faith into him as we speak. But this is a new article that just came out today at 10:39 a.m. So this came out less than an hour ago. The Kings have fewer than 2 weeks to make this Buddy Hield extension, obviously, and same with Bogdan. Which we're not talking about Bogdan in this video, except for how it bleeds over into the Buddy situation. Hield would accept an offer less than maximum contract he's eligible to receive, so long as it's not an insult. If the Kings and Hield don't reach a deal, the 26-year-old could become a restricted free agent, giving Sacramento the chance to match any offer Hield signs with another team. So obviously, according to the rumors here from Jason Jones of The Athletic, Buddy Hield wants to be on the Kings. He knows that a max offer really probably isn't possible for the Kings because of how our contract situation is. But he's willing to basically take less money, kind of like how Kevin Durant was like, I'll take 10 million. What do you take, like a contract, but it was like 10 million less than what he could have got just to stay on the Warriors because they were stacked. Almost kind of the same scenario. Not really because we're not the Warriors, but you know what I mean. So it looks like, Buddy knows the situation. The Kings know the situation. It seems like it's kind of just almost getting blown out of proportion by the media a little bit here. But the comment that Buddy made a while back that was kind of concerning was, I'm ready to get this shit done. Kings Hield wants contract extension now, not later. And he basically said, we need to get it done. I want to get that done for sure. If it doesn't get done, things could go the other way. This is where I want to be, so it would be good for me to be here in Sacramento. If I'm their guy, I think they could make it happen already. I want to build a future here. I want to be here, but we have to see something. Something's got to come to the table. We have a week and a half to see what that brings, but I want to be here. So that tells me that it seems like Buddy's not getting the offer that he wants, and the Kings aren't willing to match it, or not willing to. I don't know how you put that necessarily. The Kings want to make the move. I think the Kings are just trying to see how much they can lowball him, and then eventually, if it gets to the last second, they'll go, okay, screw it, just give him what he wants. I think that's what's going to happen. One more thing I wanted to look at on Twitter. Carmichael Dave tweeted today. I'm sure everybody knows in this video who Carmichael Dave is, but let me find that. Follow me on Twitter at Tap2K43. Follow the Sacktown Breakdown on Twitter as well. Carmichael Dave tweeted this out today about an hour ago. Just spoke to a member of the Sacramento Kings organization familiar with the intricacies of the Buddy Hield contract negotiations. Buddy Hield will be a King no matter what. As I spoke about on the show yesterday, there are a lot of moving parts here. Just me talking now. China concerns could drop the cap next year up to 15%, which I'm going to talk about that in a second. Barnes is signed, Buddy Bogey next, with Fox and Bagley over the next 2 years coming up. That's about $500 million worth of players. This is where Vlade and company earn their money. That's a very large commitment to make to a core that has yet to make the playoffs, and the cap drop has to be factored in. But whenever the idea of Buddy not staying comes up, it's a non-starter. They'll get it done. The hope and plan seems to not only maintain the five-man core long-term, but to remain as much flexibility as possible for what is expected within the franchise to be a sustained title run. Whether now or this summer, the plan is to absolutely get this done deal with Hield. So basically, it's a whole lot of nothing, because it's essentially just the Kings are going to get the deal done. But it is kind of concerning, just based on the fact that the China thing is going to be taken into account now. Daryl Morey opened his fat mouth, and that guy's an idiot. I can't stand Daryl Morey. He's an idiot. I mean, he's just dumb. The guy's dumb. He uses his fat Cheeto fingers to press buttons on a calculator, and he thinks he makes him some sort of NBA guru. He's an idiot, okay? I don't care. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody any day that wants to try to defend Daryl Morey. But he said this China stuff. The China thing blew up into this big thing, and now China's pulling pretty much everything NBA out of their country. They're like, we don't want anything to do with you. We're trying to keep our people down, and you're not helping us. You're trying to liberate the people, and we don't want any of that. So we're getting you out of here. And I mean, it's almost, to me, it's like, can the NBA do something to help these teams that have these players? Like, say, what if the Kings lost Bogdanovich because we couldn't sign him because the Houston Rockets screwed up? Daryl Morey screwed up. And with that being said, that screwed up the whole league. And now, all of a sudden, the Kings can't sign their guys. That's not fair to the Kings. As far as I'm concerned, take all the money from the Rockets salary cap and spread it all across the other 29 teams. I know that's not possible, but it'd be nice. So that's concerning. The China concerns, I mean, it's like something we've never seen before, to be honest. I mean, so according to Yahoo's Keith Smith, teams have cap specialists working on preparations in case next year's salary cap sees as much as a 10 to 15% drop from the $117 million projection. That would possibly drop the cap below this year's $109 million figure and would significantly impact personnel decisions this coming summer, as well as impacting the value of player max contracts that are tied to a percentage of the cap. Whether this actually happens remains to be seen, and the 10 to 15% seems to be a worst case scenario type projection, as in all revenue from China goes away. Teams are regularly making plans for possible changes to the cap number, since projections can change and the actual figure won't be known until just before the league calendar flips over. So this is mostly due diligence, but indicates fears around the league of a substantial impact for next summer. Also, those who have wondered aloud how much the NBA actually makes from its presence in China, this indicates just how big of a piece of the pie it is. So this actually makes our trip to India far more important than before, because the NBA is trying to tap into that India market too. India is a massive, massive country with a lot of people, kind of like China. And if China's out, India's in. The Rockets were China's team. The Kings are India's team. So we're gonna have, we got all that India money that can come in possibly. If we can market the NBA to India, it might just be like, get China out, move India in that spot. But it's not going to be that easy. It's taken years, I mean, back in the day, players used to, people in China would faint when Michael Jordan came to China. People would faint, they'd be falling over themselves, they'd be going crazy. Same with Kobe. I didn't see the people of India fainting over De'Aaron Fox, which means the bug hasn't quite caught on yet in India. People aren't fainting and falling over themselves for Marvin Bagley, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So, overall, I want you guys to leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think of the Buddy Hield situation. I personally think, like I said, the Kings are going to basically try to kick the tires, see how much they can lowball Buddy, and then when he doesn't budge at all, they're just going to give him what he wants, and we're going to move on. And this isn't really a story, but let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Tell me what your opinions are on the Buddy Hield scenario. Sorry if this is kind of a confusing, jumbled video. There's kind of a lot of moving parts. I mean, with the China thing, it's just kind of, everything's blown up. But like I said, comment down below. Give me your thoughts, your feelings on the Buddy Hield contract scenario. Tell me what you think about Bogdan and Giles, and just even like contracts over the next 3 to 5 years. Tell me what you think the Kings should do. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you slap a like on it. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're new here to the Sacktown Breakdown. From my boy Skip, this is Tyler, aka Tap. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I love you.